And so the two new movements are going back to forward stepping movements. So we are going to do that same kind of setup of sinking into the right, left foot comes forward. This is like the way that the sideways motion is going to become after a while. You just kind of go, oh yeah, this I recognize, right? So that's the forward stepping setup. The upper body setup is something that's called a push-pull. And I'm going to show it to you both frontwards and sideways because there's some really useful things to get about it from both angles. So as you step forward, that the motion is out with your hands, again kind of feeling a little bit more through the palms of your hands. And then as you get out this way, you don't want to reach or lean, right? So as you get close to the end, before you're even at that end point, you want to start turning your hands. So it's very similar to this. As you come back here, you're already turning before you don't stop here, right? And then turn. You're turning and then coming back. Same thing here. You're turning and coming back. So the same thing you're going to do as you push out, you start turning before you reach the end. And then as you come back, you're starting to turn before you reach the end. So there's this really nice circularity, which is one of the principles of Tai Chi Cha. It's continuity and circularity, just going back and forth like this. Now the last part of the sideways thing that I want you to notice is that the movements are actually a little almond shaped. So as I come forward, there's a little bit of a sinking in my hands in the middle, and as I straighten out, you'll just find that there's a natural kind of lifting of my hands a bit. So the elbows bending, there's a bit of a dropping, and then as I straighten up, my hands kind of come a little bit more in front of the beginning point, in front of my shoulders. So there's a little bit of an almond dropping like that, and then the same thing coming up. Is as my hands come in, if you just see me stay stable for a moment and do this with my hands, you can see my hands go through a natural arc. So it's very similar as I come in, that I'm just taking advantage of that bending elbows, and you'll see my hands come in and then drop back down a bit. So there's that kind of slight downward curve that just naturally comes out of the movement if you're not trying to push through the center. Right? So it really follows the natural movements of the body. And this is one of those movements where it can be really useful to check yourself in a big window or something, or a full-length mirror if you have one every once in a while, because this is one of those movements where you'll tend to do this to kind of go forward away from your center. So to really use it as a chance to feel what it's like to just stay in this middle place, to not fall into the temptation to push away from your center, but to just round and in again, as if you're just going through clouds. Okay, and then you just step back, and I'll show this to you on the other side from the front. So as you sink into your left leg, turn your heel out, and your foot comes forward, and your hands come up. And again, it's kind of like Daughter in the Mountaintop, except a little bit more inward, right? You're kind of staying, you're not going to be going rounding out, so you're staying a little bit more in front of your shoulder joints, like this. And the movement, you can see the sink now, right? As I come, and then the rise as my hands come in. And you'll see that my fingertips, as I come back, they come up just sort of underneath my mouth and then come down in front of my shoulders. And then, of course, you can come all the way back down to the bottom and say, okay, am I working so hard in my upper body that I'm forgetting the nice, gentle transfer of weight across my feet? The front foot is really solidly carrying, the back foot is solidly carrying, that my back heel is lifting, that my front toe is lifting, and just letting yourself start to drop into this push-pull where there's kind of like an energetic movement out into the world and then a drawing back into yourself. And we'll try this one more time. Out and in. And then your toe comes up, of course, and you come back to your resting position.